you ready? What?
I got so many
Todd.
Andy, where the hell are you again now? I can't keep up with you. Good Thursday. It's Thursday. Everything's kind of crazy tonight. It's Thursday. You're in some hotel room eating lamb chops. And what's going on?
It is Thursday, yes, a rare stream. I am in Birmingham, Alabama.
Greenbow, Alabama.
No, my last night of this Southern Road tour. So,
all right. Well, you know, you were doing a lot of work for work, and you make things happen for 2TEN90, right?
Always a little bit of time to play. Oh, and Jimmy, I got your message, brother. Sorry I didn't respond to you, but don't you worry.
He must have sent you something.
Don't you worry. I'm with you.
All right. Before we get into this, I've got a very nice blind, and this kind of goes hand in hand with what.
Talk about the blind, because I'm going to take another bite of lamb chop here. Talk about your blind.
You know, we're very big fans of K-Luke. And they've come out with batch 9 a couple of months, like I guess a month ago. A batch 10 will be coming out, I think, in September. I've always said I do one and I move on to the next one. I'm like, oh, that's my favorite. I think this is my favorite. So I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My wife randomized the order for me here. These 5 glasses. This stave only has 4, so this one is the left out. But anyway, let's see which ones I prefer. Let's see really what my favorite is of the last 5 barrel-proof batches, because I've been wanting to do this, and I think it's going to be fun to do to see where they come in. So that's what I'm doing. We probably won't be going super long tonight. It's not our completely normal show because it's Thursday night. Andy's eating lamb chops in a hotel room in Alabama. Hopefully trying to get home tomorrow in a tropical storm, whatever's left of that thing that came up from Florida and is now hitting us. So Andy, good luck with that. And, you know, we're going to have fun. We have some updates on the single barrel picks. I've got a pretty cool, well, for me, it's going to be cool because I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about this. But of the next 4 barrel picks, so the Corbin Cash 9.5 year Merced Rye, the 8+ year American Single Malt Mold Line that our Patreon members picked at the Patreon Takeover. That comes next after that. Then the third one this year, coming up still this year, will be the Corbin Cash 8-year Hazmat Bourbon. And then really we have a bunch. I'm combining them all together. All the picks we did for MGP and Luxco. Which ones are you most excited about? The MGP Luxco, the Hazmat Bourbon from Corbin Cash, the American Single Malt from Mold Line, or the 9.5 year Merced Rye? That's nearly Hazmat from Corbin Cash. Vote. I'm curious what you guys are really, really into. I mean, I think they're all amazing, and hopefully you guys all buy them all. But I'm wondering what the group's favorite is. Andy, if I had a favorite, you know, what would your favorite be of all those? If you had a group, to pick one. Again, the MGP Luxco is a group pick. What would you be most excited about?
My favorite pick will always be the one that is coming up next. So I'm just going to throw that out there at you. So, but
I will say this.
Speaking of picks,
yeah, go ahead.
It is cool because if you're fans of our next 2, Corbin Cash or Old Line, there's going to be some really cool opportunities to meet the people behind the bottles, get some early sample tastings. If you're a Patreon member, you saw that already.
Let's bring that up. Bring that up.
You want to bring that up there, little fella, and talk about it?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We've got a lot going on, and we're really excited about these Corbin Cash picks and the Old Line pick because you guys were in on that Old Line pick. At least 20-some plus of you guys helped pick it. But Andy, turn off your phone.
Sorry.
We've got, and Andy, I don't know. We've got some really cool things though lined up, not only for the Old Line, but really the Corbin Cash picks. And that one of the things is David coming all the way across the country to Baltimore to do some things with us, right?
Yep. So
let me put this up.
when I went out to Corbin Cash to kind of sample through some barrels, one of the things that was fun, and yeah, Todd, you want let me pull that up, man? That's pretty cool. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Can we make that? How do we make that bigger?
I don't know, because it's coming right from our Patreon, so that's just kind of what it is, bud. That's what it is. I don't know how we make that bigger, but
we don't. But this is cool. So on the 17th, David's going to be here, and Mark and Arch are gracious enough to host. So we're going to have the ability for people to come out and they can meet David, they can meet Mark and Arch, and we're also going to be able to, you guys can sample early that 9.5-year Merced rye, that 8-year hazmat, the hazmat construction, and then of course the malt through the night, the American single malt. So I mean, it's going to be really cool. But more so than that, the fact that David's coming all the way across the country is really cool. We're going to be doing some special stuff with him, a few videos that are going to be really cool. We'll release that information as we get closer to launch, but it is really cool. We've got some amazing things planned. This is usually what Todd is chomping at the bit because he wants to give away his Christmas presents on Thanksgiving.
It's not Christmas present for me. It's Christmas present for these guys.
They're not giving you a damn clue as to what that is until everything is flushed out. So we will talk to you.
Oh, I will say, and this is also
look at this, Todd. One of our patrons says, I get a chance to meet Todd. He's always wanted to meet you. That's actually pretty cool. So
I've got your bottle here, buddy. If you want it, I guess I can give it to your brother. Tony, you should come. So it's next Saturday, the 17th. If you're local,
I told you he's on vacation. He's not coming.
That's right. But I'm just saying for everybody else out
there, he just likes messing with you, which
Tony.
It's in the blood. So
I do miss Tony. I do miss him. I mean, he was a part of this channel for a little while there, and he doing videos with us, which was quite funny.
You don't think people may not know who Tony is?
He's your brother,
but he is my brother. He did do some stuff with us for the channel.
The clip that you're probably going to show with the corn right now.
I thought about the corn, but you know what? We don't have to just do the corn. We can do this one.
Let's see what else is on.
I'm so sick of Seattle grunge music.
Look at me in my flannel shirt.
This is awful.
Kurt Cobain.
Never gonna last. It'll be gone
by. It
by
makes sense.
1996. It's gone.
Not cool bands like Trickster and Firehouse and Warrant and Winger.
Kicks.
These guys will be around forever. In fact, look. There you go, MTV.
Yeah, MTV's
I'm glad they actually play music videos.
Hey, look, Trickster. That's exactly what we're talking about. I hate grunge music. You know what? Seattle, Washington, I'm never going there.
No.
Never.
Not unless you start producing something better than Zima. Cheers, boys.
This is probably why Tony doesn't want to watch our channel anymore, because he sees stuff like that on there. Russell the Wig.
I mean, that's amazing. So we were doing a thing called State Series, Andy, where we were
doing a State Series for Washington, right?
It was Washington State. Some of our viewers sent us beers from Washington that we can't get here that we then reviewed, but that was the intro for it.
That was fantastic. Yeah. Todd, that's a little reminiscent of Todd with hair, which was nice. Yeah. And you know what was funny? You actually did say when you were on there, he's like, this stuff will be gone by 96. You actually were right. Grunge lasted about 3 years and then did kind of completely fall out, which was really great.
Jolly Ranchers. Yes.
It was like David Mays, Zima Jolly Ranchers for the ladies back in the day. That's it. Anybody out there remember Zima Gold? If you're our age too, that they tried for a couple of years and it didn't take off. Actually,
yeah.
So that's awesome. There's Tim Cornell. Hey boys, had a great time hanging with BP at the beach. Yeah, that's awesome. You need to come next year.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're also planning something for the summer of next year. Nothing on the scale of Bourbon Junkies or even Mash and Journey, but we did something this year with our patrons that was local, and a lot of people traveled, which was great. We picked the single barrel pick at Old Line, and that's amazing. We're looking to travel next year. So
awesome. We have some ideas.
It probably, we have ideas. No, I'm saying we're looking into something again over the summer. We're looking for the Kentucky area. So just keep that in mind when you're maybe thinking about, maybe I'll do something next summer.
We will give you plenty of heads up.
Just think we might be doing something very
cool.
You're
doing it again, little fella. You're getting them all. Nothing set yet.
Sprinkling little tidbits out there for everybody to see, just so they know what's going on.
We're sprinkling ideas.
Exactly.
So we don't. There is definitely nothing definitive.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
Even location, not definitive. And so, and even summer is not definitive. So we will
It better be summer. It's the only time I can really do it. But all right.
It's definitely going to be in the fall. So that's.
I'm just saying. Anyway, that's way down the road.
Todd has a little window there. Don't worry.
One of the reasons, so Saturday at Old Line, the 17th, 5 p.m. If you're watching this on replay, and you're within, a 50-mile radius, we'd love to see you there. And bring a friend. Let them try and sample not only our Old Line pick that you guys all helped us pick, but also these amazing David's bringing I think bottles of each. So if you come, you'll be able to try these two. I think Andy, you mentioned it. The rye you said is probably your favorite whiskey you've ever tasted. Am I lying on that?
No, from a rye perspective, I was blown away by it. But you have to understand, this is kind of the beauty of forming some partnerships. And Bad Axe can tell you, Bobby was out there. He knows this thing was good. He knows how good this was.
We're going to bring him in too. Yeah.
This was David Souza's private stash. It had sold written on it because he was not giving this to anyone. This was going to be his private stash. And so the fact that, I went out there and he was like, you know what, dude, you want it? It's yours. I'm like, are you serious? And I wasn't even going to take it unless I was like, well, if it's that good, maybe, but otherwise I'm not going. And I tried it. I remember this is the first one I tried, Todd.
Yep.
And I knew I was going to try everything else under the sun, but that one spoke to me. I was like, my God, this is glorious. And yeah, Bobby will tell you, it was insanely good.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing. And then, and then the 8+ well, a bit about 8 year hazmat bourbon at 148 that Bobby so amazingly coined the Coy Hill Killer. Do you have the pictures of these, Andy?
Oh, of course I have the pictures because it always makes Sugar Kitty happy to see the logos.
Well, I'm talking about the Coy Hill Killer. And listen, I haven't had it in a while, but here's the bottle.
There you go. There's your Coy Hill Killer right there. And as JG says, if you do bring a friend, prep them for 21090. There's no prepping for us. Just enjoy it. Ruby's in the house. What's up, man?
Real quick, guys. Somebody just came in the chat.
Bill Graves is going to be there. That in and of itself is great. So that's awesome.
Real quick, Andy, before we get on, Keith J from Emmett, he's been a long time supporter of a lot of channels. I don't know if everybody knows this, but he's been in the hospital for over a year with certain issues. And he emailed us today. We're going to be doing something for Keith J. Andy, I haven't talked to you about this. Literally, this happened.
No, I read it. I'm with you 100%. You don't need to talk to me.
I know the whiskey community helps a lot of people, and Keith is certainly in need of it, guys. And Keith, we'll be in touch. But I'm hoping maybe Bad Axe, the whole community can come around to doing something to help. And we'll have more information about what's going on. But he's in bad shape. And I know we often rally behind, our community that when they need it, we come. And this is, he's got tough medical issues right now. And if we can help, we'd like to in any little way. So I think we can try to do something
we will definitely plan something. And the night will belong to Keith. And rightfully so. We're happy to do it. So
yes,
absolutely. But yeah, as Bobby said, those bottles were special. He's like, there was something really special about the ones we tasted, both the hazmat that I've got up here, and of course the old. Okay. This is the one I'm referring to, that Ryan Affection, where Todd you look beautiful in those golden locks. It's amazing. It really is. And so you get to try both those. Of course, you'll be able to try the malt through the night, which is just freaking dynamite as well. I mean, these next three. What I love is they're so vastly different from each other, but they're so good.
Well, let's talk about that.
They're so good, man. So they're good.
I want. So we're talking about this rye, and if I remember correctly, Andy, and you've mentioned this a few times with this 9.5 year percent rye, it's so complex. I love the Still Austin single barrel rye that we did. That actually there's still like 20 bottles left, guys. I can't believe there's 20 bottles left. If you want a backup, grab it now. I'm actually going to buy some more because I drank through half a bottle at the beach this past week. But anyway, you mentioned. I think we love that Still Austin rye, but it's not superly complex. It's sweet and spicy. It's candy in a glass, and I love that. It's a great summer rye. This Merced rye is so complex and has so many layers of flavor to it that it's just I don't know how to explain it. I can't wait to try it again.
What I will tell you is the Still Austin High and Rye is just flat out delicious. It is something that you have friends who come over, you want to pour them something that's good. They're going to be like, that is just, I want another pour. I want another pour. That's the high and right. It's absolutely delicious. And of course, you're welcome, brother. No problem. We're our prayers are always with you, my friend. And we'll be in touch soon on some ideas. So don't you worry. But it's just delicious. It's a beautiful rye. It's fantastic. The Merced rye, this 9.5 year from Corbin Cash, it's something that you want to sit down with. You want to let it open up. It's got multiple layers upon layers. It's the aromatics will blow you away just to begin with, and you can go back and you kind of repeat with these things. And it's hard for me to sit down and just like describe a whiskey and keep going over and over the notes, because at some point people get bored with it. This changes so bloody much every time you sip it. It's amazing. And then the hazmat, I remember when I tried it and I was like, God, David, I can't choose between these two. I just remember when I made that quick phone call to Jay, I was like, dude, can we get them both? I mean, they're so good, I can't choose between the two of them. And he's like, yeah, go for it. The hazmat's glorious. I mean, for something that will, even for Todd, could potentially put hair on his chest because of the proof.
Or my head.
I don't think it's that magical, but it is just, it's insane. I mean, if there is such thing as an approachable $1.50 almost hazmat bourbon that you will actually enjoy, this is it, my friends. This is it. It is that good. So it's pretty amazing. And then speaking of, there's bourbon of the week. We do have all those amazing picks that are going to come flying. What's up, my friend? Good to see you.
Oh yeah, we got to do that video, Andy, when you get back in town.
Yeah, I told Chris we would do that. He has an idea for a video concept, which I think is great. He's going to kind of pass along to us to kind of do another one on top of that I think is a cool topic. So we're gonna have a great time with that. And so here's Bobby. So going back, he says the Corbin Cash is so complex in an evolving way. But those Lux Row picks, MG picks, you guys are going to love them. The old line pick will make a believer out of a non-believer of American single malts because it's fantastic.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, if you do get a chance to get to Baltimore for this event, the only thing better than the juice are the people behind it making them. And David is just a cool dude, man. He's awesome. Mark and Arch are some of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. All of them just hardworking. This isn't Lux Row. This isn't this big dog and pony show in production where it's amazing and MGP where there's 10 billion barrels. This is some small distilleries just working their ass off, and I love it. Everything about it is great. So you guys are going to enjoy it. Trust me. You're vigorously taking your notes there, little fella. Look at you. This is the only way to get you to not talk is when you're drinking, which is actually nice.
Well, I've been wanting to do this for so long because I just haven't done it. So there's a reason why I'm doing it tonight as well, and we'll get to that, but I wanted to do it. So
I love it when you have reasons behind things, Todd. You outsmart the smartest of smart. It is just amazing.
You're a funny guy.
No, and I'm being 100% non-serious when I say that. You really, it's true.
Yeah.
So, sorry, it's been a long week. My sarcasm's probably getting the best.
Oh, it's great. I think there's Amy Boehm. Gosh, Amy's here. Oh wow, have we missed Amy Boehm? My Lord, have we missed
Amy's here. It could only be because we're not on when other good channels are on, like on the Tuesday.
No, there's a lot of good channels.
I'm
Ben's
kidding.
on right now. We've got Whiskey Row on right now.
I'm kidding. I kid. Hi, Amy. We miss you.
We do miss you. Gosh. It's all good, though.
And look, I love hearing this. Look at Tim Cornet. That old line pick changed my mind on American singles. Don't overlook them. And
everyone's gonna be pleasantly surprised. I think the price on the old line is gonna be really good, like really good for a 8-year single malt, 126 proof, cash strength. It's gonna be really affordable, and I'm super happy about that. And the way that's gonna work is, just to give you guys an update, we are going to have to canvas, meaning that we're going to poll our patrons because it's not going through shared ports, it's going through old line. So probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will send out something to our patrons saying, are you interested? And if you are, how many bottles? And we'll have the price. And if you're local or in an area that they don't ship to, you can pick up, right? Either we'll pick it up for you so you won't have to pay for shipping. And shipping is actually a great thing with their vendor. I think, Andy, they said no matter what price you pay, like how many bottles you buy, this is one flat fee of.
Yeah, it's actually it's a pretty good deal. all things considered. So
$15, and it's like even if it's 1 or 3, it's the same thing. So
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with this.
man, that's nice.
The whole 9 yards. Yeah, it's great. It's just really, really good. So
Yeah.
I'm stoked for you guys to try that too. All right, let me go pull this. So all right, I need to pull something up on my computer for what we're about to talk about next there, Todrick. So you just start talking a little bit about what you're sipping on.
All right, so I've got batches. Has anybody ever done this? I'm sure you guys
By the way, sorry, Old Line, if they don't ship to you,
Doesn't
it
matter.
will still go to you. So if you want it in your canvas and you're in, don't you worry. We will make sure to get that to you.
We will do the same thing we'd do for our Texas and Tennessee friends, where we will pick them up from O-Line and then ship it to you. You just have to purchase it and say pick up at O-Line. We'll take care of it. So it doesn't matter.
By the way, shout out my cousin Brent, what's going on, who's watching tonight. Don't see him much. He said, no one's got power thanks to Debbie. Yeah, I'm worried I'm going to get stranded in Birmingham tomorrow when I'm supposed to fly out. I'm not excited about that. So
look at this. Anthony, who I think will be there on Saturday for the meetup with Corbin Cash, said he brought the O-Line Sauternes distillery, the one that was the fill your own bottle during our pick, which was fantastic, to Indiana, and it turned a lot of heads. I'm telling you.
It's awesome.
I love that, Anthony.
It's great.
Yeah, that is great.
And also, real quick, Coop Art, thanks as new fan watching you guys. Amazing content. That's great, man. We appreciate that. We love it whenever somebody comes in and
we're usually live every Tuesday night. So
stick around, until we're live on Tuesdays. But it's been a crazy week of travel, so I still have this on Todd. That's all right. He's what a beautiful man. That's no big deal.
All right. So on the nose, real quick, I've got batches 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 of K. Luke's barrel proof. They've been mixed up. So on the nose, my favorites so far are A and D and E. Just a little bit more rich. B and C are, C is very citrus forward, which is interesting. They all have the same undertone, right? But this is more citrus than the other ones, which have more of a vanilla, creme brulee. I know, Andy, there's 2 here that have big time creme brulee. A and D, and some chocolate in some of them, which I like on the nose for bourbons. The B and C, I have citrus forward, some mint actually, which is interesting. I don't know if I've ever gotten mint on a K. Luke, and like chocolate, it's just an interesting different nose. But compared to the other ones, it's not my favorite nose for B. C is again honey and toffee. It's nice, but the other ones are just much more deep and rich and sort of just overpowering, that I really like those sort of creme brulee notes, brown sugars, and they're just dark and deep. So I think D might be my favorite nose. Everybody make your D or A. E's quite nice too. Those 3, stand up. All right. So now let's drink. So I am doing, Andy, this blind here. One, because I've wanted to do it for so long, but while Andy was in Alabama, Mississippi, somewhere down south for work.
We're not ready yet.
Oh, okay. And I'll just keep talking about this. If you want to see, I will close my eyes. I don't even know if you guys, the batch number's on the bottom. I don't even know if you can see it. Andy, can you see that?
Yeah, it says 32.
Can you really see it?
I can't see it. I can't see anything.
Oh, you can't see me? It's not there?
I see you, dum-dum. I can't see the number on there.
Can you see it now?
8.
Okay, good. But did you really say it is bet? Don't tell me.
Well, you asked me if I could see it. I can see it. Yeah. Now it wasn't 8. Maybe it just looked like an 8. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Keep going. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Stupid.
Sorry. That's the only one I'll give you.
That was 8? Don't do that. You're an idiot. All right. Wow. Chocolate and vanilla there, big time. Woo.
I got vanilla and chocolate.
Shut up. Oh, man. There's a spice on the finish, too, that I really like. Like a toasted vanilla, chocolate, and then the spice on the back end just for days. Wow. That's really nice. Okay, very good. Palate cleanser on 2. Has anybody, if you've had these 5 through 9, what are your favorite that if you blinded it, that's great. Which ones are your favorite batches from K. Luke? I'm curious. I've always said it's weird. I do every batch. I'm like, oh, I think I like one better. And so I'm going back and seeing, okay, which one do I really like? I wish we still had 4, Andy. That was the first bottle we ever bought. We liked it. We drank the whole damn thing, not knowing how great K-Luke was going to be. And I don't have a bottle of it anymore. However, someone did send me. I don't know who did this. Who's out there that sent me? I've got so many samples. K-Luke Barrel Strength Batch 2. Who sent these? Maybe if they're watching, they can tell me. Batch 2, Barrel Strength Batch 3, and then Toasted Batch 1 bourbon, which I've never had. Who sent those? I would love to know who sent them because I can't remember who did it, and I lost the box it came in, but one of our Patreons did. So anyway, haven't had K-Luke yet, JG says. Oh, gosh. Well, here's what we'll do. I will give away, if you want to do something real quick, I mean, for Super Chats, 2 ounces of this entire thing, and I'll put them up, and you can, it'll be enough for you to blind it on your own. Like I'll blind the bottles. So if you want to do a blind and then open the thing to see what they are, you'll have enough to do a blind and then enough to just go back and enjoy it. So I'll give you 2 ounces of 5 through 9. That's the only thing I can think of to give. And so Corey's already super chatted. So Corey, there you go. If you want to possibly win this, we'll do that. We weren't really going to do anything, but I love trying to give away stuff. So I think it's a fun blind to do. So let's do that. All right. On to B, on the nose. Yeah, this is the citrus mint chocolate, which is interesting. Oh, man. Let's go.
You're doing great, little fellow.
Oh, it's brown sugar. It's super oily. I think it's more viscous than the first one. Yeah, that citrus comes through on the palate too. Citrus and brown sugar. It's really viscous. Not as much spice as there was on the first one. I mean, these proofs are all around the same, I think, right? Yeah, this
they're
one.
They're gonna be similar in proof.
Yeah,
Jason hasn't had K-Luke yet. It's really good. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I know. Right there, you go, Jay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yep, Kevin, there you go. So you want to try them? There you go. Tim Cornell bought the old line case 1. Oh, the rum. Yeah, the rum's. Hey, did you guys even Cam from Drums and Drams, who doesn't like rum, thought it was good. That is.
I didn't really didn't like. I mean, this thing. Listen, and we're gonna do something with them for this. It won't. I mean, I don't know.
Patty, I was just letting Todd do his thing. Don't worry. I'm still hanging around.
No, yeah, we're definitely going to be doing something for our patrons around this rum. This rum is earth. I mean, it's like it's mind shattering how great it is in terms of 133 proof, and like $40. You kidding me? And it's aged for 3 years in an American single malt cask. Get out of here. And anybody who's tried it knows how freaking good that is. I mean, if we did like a bottle, like that's one of my favorite bottles of the year. I kid you not, that I've drank this year. That's probably been the most impactful. And I challenge anybody to say if they've had it that it's not. I remember Ben coming up to us at the actual Ben's live right now, but he came up and said, "You got to try the rum. That's what you need to go after." Like I got the Salt Turns too, and it's great. And that was really, he got a bottle of that, but he's like, that rum that's legit. I'm like, what?
The rum is fantastic. But honestly,
try this. I'm like, holy crap, it is good.
Everything they do there is really good. I think people are really going to be impressed, honestly.
That rum crushed in blind. Yeah, I'm pissed it didn't have. Yes. So we did a blind against some really great, and Joe and Kathy can probably tell us what it went up against. I, of course, had Buffalo Trace. That's when I thought I was going crazy. I didn't know that they were all Buffalo Trace, and I still ranked them. But everybody was saying, "Oh, I'm getting yellow cake and this and that," and I'm like, I'm not getting any of that. And that's like my usually like the one thing I love that yellow cake note, and you totally get it out of that. It tastes like a light whiskey or an American whiskey, but it went up against some really heavy hitters and was unanimously the first choice of everybody in that room.
And we all thought it was a light whiskey, which is so funny. But they do. If you get a chance to meet the guys from Old Line, they trained out in Seattle under a master distiller who primarily did Scotch and rum for a long time, and they brought that all back. And they work hard, man. Those guys are cool. They're great guys. We're honored to be partnering with them because they're just some good dudes. They're really cool, and they make some really, really good stuff. Yeah, I love it. If Cam likes it, everybody loves it. He does have a pretty special.
What's the laser code? Yeah, screw laser codes. I don't buy none of that. Anyway, I tell you what, C is not great on the nose, but I do like it on the palate a lot. It's got that sort of toffee, and there's even some like honey. Is that crazy? It's sweet. 7 is the sweetest one so far.
By the way, Corey, thanks. He said, great seats at Def Leppard concert. Solid props on the crystal clear video. If you haven't seen, we did drop a couple videos and one more. There's one more left to drop. They're going to put out probably tomorrow. But yeah, I took my daughter to see her very first Def Leppard concert at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. It was a sold out show. Crappy venue, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's old. It's a 50-plus-year-old stadium, but we had great seats. It was absolutely fantastic. They killed it. They crushed it. And then one of our Patreons, John, last night went to the show in Citi Field in New York and sent some pictures. He got a bobblehead, a Def Leppard bobblehead, which is really cool. Like it was, yeah, really cool. So we go on Patreon. Relax, buddy. Hold on.
No, I can see some of the bottoms of it when I.
Well, don't worry about it, Todd. It's not that big of a deal. You just tell them what you like. Yes, Jay. They have a new song, not just a new album, a new song too. But yes, so go check out the Just Like 73 videos and Don't Stop Believing. That was the finale for Journey. Really, and we had great seats. They were really good. So some really good crystal clear videos. It's awesome.
That's got the creme brulee again. That's it, man.
Yeah, the pictures were good too. So we sent do some fun stuff on Patreon.
Cherry, creme brulee and dark cherry on this.
Dude, go ahead, Todd. You were dying here. Tell us about it.
Chocolate cherry right there with like vanilla custard. That makes sense. That's decadent and deep and
rich.
Beautiful. I love it.
You're a happy little fellow right now, aren't you?
D shocker. D is my favorite.
You do love D.
I like D. And all right, last one. All right, Andy, why am I doing all this? Are you ready to finally show something?
Oh, I've been ready. I just want to hear you talk. You're doing such a great job, Todd. You really are. I can't not let you go. You're just so happy.
Well, thank you for all the super chats. Again, I will give 2-ounce samples of batches 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I'll even throw in batch. What is it? You know what? No, screw it. I'll do this. I think it's about.
Go for it.
2-ounce pour of their finished, the Keenan Reserve.
Ooh, that's a nice pour.
And this thing is beautiful. So that'll even go. You'll get 6 2-ounce.
I was sipping on that on Tuesday, Todd.
Oh, where are you, Andy? What a great segue that is. It's almost like we planned it. I didn't plan that actually, but
I'm actually surprised you kept your mouth closed this long. It's pretty good.
I'll throw in a 1-ounce sample of the rum.
Why only 1 ounce?
Because there's not a lot left. I've given away a lot already. I want some for myself.
They're not worth 2 samples out there? I'm just going to put this on you. Are they not worth 2 samples?
No.
I mean, 2 ounces.
Honestly, not. They're not.
Wow. You usually buckle, but you're not just a happy little fellow. You're a greedy little fellow.
I'll give 2 ounces then. That's fine.
I would have given 2 ounces. You buckle pretty easy.
I'll give 2 ounces of the rum too.
I wouldn't have done that.
Damn it. You're getting 14 ounces of whiskey. Thanks a lot.
14 ounces of whiskey. Yeah, I would never have done that. All right. Anyway.
Jesus, 2 ounces of that.
You didn't have to do that, Todd. They just asked. I wouldn't have done it.
You asked, and then you made me feel bad. All right, so there you go. You're getting 14 ounces of whiskey.
You're going to keep calling. You're going to make a phony phone call to Ed Rudy, and then you hit me. All right. All right. What you doing now, little fella? Do you want me to start talking, or do you want to keep going?
Yeah,
you're doing good.
Yeah, please do, so I can get into this and then rank them. And
you make weird noises in the background. It throws me off.
Shut it. All right, I'll mute myself.
God, that's a great idea.
You can go, dude.
I know. It's too easy. I love it. Anyway. All right. So on Tuesday night, so I have been on the road traveling. We don't need to look at Todd's face. I was on the road traveling this entire week. I flew into New Orleans on Tuesday, then on Sunday. Monday, I was in Baton Rouge. And then I needed to head out to Mississippi. I had some work in Mississippi. But on the way to Mississippi, I made a special stop. So I ended up meeting up with Jonathan Maizano in his hometown in Mississippi, and we went out to dinner. We had a nice little tour of his hometown, which is beautiful, by the way. And then we went back to his man cave, which is ridiculously impressive. He's got a full-fledged, gorgeous wine cellar because he's a sommelier too, by the way. He took his early somm training, and so beautiful wine cellar. He's got more whiskey than you could imagine. Good stuff too. And we cut a couple videos for fun, and then we sat down and we sipped through a lot of amazing stuff. So I got a good chance to hang out with Jonathan at his place. It was fantastic. I could not be more appreciative that he welcomed me into his home. He did not have to do that, which was really cool. And it was an amazing night. It was fantastic. But you want to talk about a guy who's connected one of the hardest working people in the industry? That is Jonathan, guys. He's a pretty cool guy and connected guy. So anyway, how do I get this picture off? And Todd, you can come off mute if you want to. But yeah, I had a great time with Jonathan, and so we did do some. We did some house stuff, like I said, with the videos. But man, I had a Dusty. He mentioned Dusty Dan. He would have been a little bit jealous. But I had a 1976 old granddad that we sipped on for a while. Todd, I know you're a Willet Top fan. We had a couple old school 17-year Willet Purple Tops, which were fantastic.
I mean, yeah, that I saw your 17-year Willet. I mean, come on, dude. I have an 11-year. Next week, by the way, I have a short that's out. I'm giving away 2 ounces of an 11-year, 138 proof Willet Purple Top from that short. If you just have to comment that you want a sample of it, go watch that short and comment to get in on it, because I'm giving it away. 2 ounces of that next week on our live stream, by the way. But yeah, I'm a huge. Here's the thing, Andy. The great thing about that is anyone else driving to what was the place called? Golf? What was it? Where in Mississippi? Where is it?
Well, I didn't say intentionally, but it's
okay, in Mississippi. It's on the shores of Mississippi.
Yeah.
And listen, we're big fans of what Jonathan does, and we don't get sent samples. I don't want them. I buy them because I trust. Ever since batch 4, he's not let me wrong. These are amazing blends. I think he and Jennifer are on equivalent, very close to. Nancy. And in terms of blending, I trust, in terms of trust, I trust everything Nancy does, and I trust everything Jonathan does. And I know they don't put age statements on there. I know they don't tell you where it's sourced from. And it's for a reason, and you might want to talk about that, Andy. I think it's genius, because if you get past that and just taste it, and I know it's a price, and they're $109 a bottle. I know that it's a lot of money, but they've never been not
part of the reason why. So part of the reason why it was so much fun to meet Jonathan, great guy, like a really good guy.
I agree.
We have similar interests in our love for wine and whiskey, so it was really easy to get along, and just and just a gracious individual. Like, the last thing he needed to do was invite me over to his home and open up his doors and all these beautiful bottles that he has. So I was honored to even just spend some time and hang out. And I was there late, Ubered home after some probably too many good pours and a good cigar from his humidor. It was fantastic. That we had a blast. But some people think, and not knocking anyone who blends, that anyone can do it. You cannot. He has an amazing background. His background in wine helped kind of get him as a really helped him with the aromatics portion of whiskey. He takes insanely copious notes of each barrel that he gets, and he uses those notes to blend with flavors that he thinks will play well together and make a unique pour. So it's kind of like a mad scientist in a little bit of a way, but one of the things he said that I love is you don't have to grow the crops, you don't have to kill the calf. You just have to take the ingredients and make a really good dish, because some people could do that and screw it up. And I think that's what I love about what he does. Because, Jonathan is, Corey said here, just a really cool guy, and has a family business even cooler. He's been in this industry. He was in this industry for decades before he even delved into K-Luke. And so this is not just some guy that decided, it'd be fun, let me make a quick buck off of whiskey, because you don't get into this business for that. And I learned so much about the process that goes into it.
Yeah, that's great.
Not only does he take all these copious notes and put everything together to find out what layers work well, and how he will blind everything 3 or 4 or 5 times, he and Jennifer, his wife, who partners with him, until they can both say, yes, this is something that's worthy of working on. Then they put it up against other big hitters with similar profiles in the industry that are selling well and doing well. And from there, if he doesn't feel it's up to par with that, he'll go back and find out what's missing. Okay, does this need more spice? Does this need more of a, kind of see more layered? Are the aromatics correct? And he goes back and he tweaks it until it's perfect. Then he releases it. And once that's done, it's a clean slate. Goes back to the drawing board and starts all over again. So no rest on your laurels. They'll say, yeah, you take a week off, then you get right back at it, because he's got a schedule that he's kind of following. And so, we tasted a bunch of the batches together, which were great. They were fantastic. One was a special 17-year batch, which was absolutely glorious, that he hasn't put out yet. Kind of told me about some of the things in the pipeline that were amazing that I can't wait for you guys to try when they come out. I can't wait for us to try when they come out. But yeah, there's intentionality behind why he doesn't list the distilleries. There's intentionality behind why he doesn't list the age statement. And he believes in what he's doing, that the final product is going to be better than anything that's on the back of the bottle. And I'm okay with that, because some people intentionally leave it off because of those reasons. He leaves it off because he wants to stand by what he's doing. And also because people can be biased when they just look at the back of a bottle. And if all they're doing is like, it's got to be over X amount of years or it's no good, then I don't want to buy it. I don't think he wants those people, which is great. It's the same reason why, look, we could select a 3-year Still Austin. People are like, that's only 3 years old. Yeah, and it's freaking good. Age doesn't necessarily matter if the juice in the bottle is good. And where it comes from doesn't necessarily matter if you can do it right. So he blends beautifully. Everything is done with intentionality. The other thing I'll say is, Todd, I know I'm kind of going on my tangent, but keep drinking the K-Luke, because I can't wait to see what wins. And I'm being serious about that, because honestly, I love all their offerings. He is one of the most connected people in the industry I know. Whether he's telling stories about Greg Metz or the Russells or Freddie No or Jackie's iCam or Nancy, like, he knows everybody. And he's learned from the best. He's studied from the best. So K-Luke is something special. I knew that before I got to hang out with him. I have an insanely different amount of respect for what he's doing now, getting a chance to meet the man behind the product. And kind of like a lot of people in this industry, just good people, man. He's a really good dude, nice guy. And I am looking forward to what's coming from K-Luke next, and seeing if there's things that we can we can work with him on. Yes, there's no promises of any of that stuff. No, I know you're excited there, little fellow. There's no promises of any of that stuff, but we are looking to, in some capacity, work with Jonathan, whether it's just learning more or something even bigger, who knows. But seeds have been planted, which I know is making you happy there, Todrick. So look, you can't wipe the grin off that stupid face. Look how happy you are. But all I can say is what an amazing experience it was. And it goes back to why I am so excited about David Souza coming out next weekend. Yeah. And why I'm excited we're doing this at Old Line with Mark and Arch, because I'm a people before product kind of guy. I don't care if the juice is great. If the people behind it are assholes, I want nothing to do with it. Not only is the juice great, but these are just good individuals who are working hard, and they deserve what they're getting and the recognition that they're getting, because they're working hard. They're good people. So I'll get off my soapbox, but it was one of the most fun experiences I've had in the whiskey community in a long time. I mean, I've been very blessed to meet a lot of people in my travels, but this was fun. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, I think, Andy, we're trying to, as a community here on the stream and Patreon, the videos we do, to do something different always, whether it's beer, bourbon, or music, rock and roll. So I think it's very, very cool that we have this relationship with people like David, now with Jonathan, where we can hopefully do something for this channel, for you guys, that nobody else can. And we're not a huge channel by any means, right? We don't have 5, 6, 7, 800. I mean, we don't, but you guys are supporting us. And I love the fact that we are trying to, and we can hopefully deliver some unique things to just you guys. And that's what this is all about. That's why Andy's going to nowhere, Mississippi, to have dinner and go to his house and build a relationship. And it's going to
This wasn't exactly on the way. It was a little bit of a diversion, but
the wrong way. But you were like, let's do it. We got you a hotel room.
It's worth it.
Let's do it. And it is going to be worth it, because I'm telling you, it's going to lead to something not only for us, it's for you guys as well. There will be something with that. We have a great relationship with Jonathan. We pitched some ideas. He's very, very open to a lot of them, and it includes you guys. And that's the cool part about it. That's what I'm most excited about.
Possibly.
And I hope you guys are, because I think, again,
possibly.
Whatever. Andy, whatever, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Some ideas that he's open to. That's all.
We're discussing things. Don't worry.
I think that's great. I think it's really cool. So
but regardless of that, like, I do want you guys, I would encourage you, like, if you can get stuff from Sealbacks or from Airport, go jump and grab a bottle. Batch 9's out now, and it's freaking killer. I mean, it's really, really good. They do batches quarterly, so you'll get the small batch quarterly. You get the toasted rye twice a year. You get the wheated bourbon, the toasted bourbon twice a year, and then you get something special, like whether it's the wine finish or something. It's all these things are coming. Their pipeline is pretty full, but everything is intentionally different and really, really good. So, if you get a chance to try some of their stuff, I would never ask people to spend hard-earned money, especially if it's a higher price tag, unless I think it's really worth it. Nor would Todd. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Joe, I don't know, are they releasing the Wilderness Trail 3 barrels? Is that what you're talking about? I wasn't planning on going tomorrow, but Todd, keep your pants.
Keep it in your pants. What Andy's saying. You're excited. It's all right. People know how happy you get there, little fella.
And the same goes for, like what we're doing with Corbin Cash, because there's going to be the relationships that Andy and I both build with, some people that we really connect with. I think it's ultimately for you guys. And I think you'll see that with what this Corbin Cash, these 2 barrels are going to have. Is David flying across the country anywhere else to hang out with for a weekend? I'm just curious. He's doing. It was his idea. We're like, okay.
When I went out there, and again, it doesn't always work out this way, but sometimes you do just hit it off with people, and as much as I'm the curmudgeon-y one, as every now and then you do get lucky, and you can forge some really good relationships, and I can tell you that, and Bobby was out there, we had the best time. David's a really great guy. We had an absolute blast. We tasted some amazing barrels that day, went out to dinner, had a wonderful time. So I offered, I said, you're a Raiders fan, come to Maryland and let's catch a Raiders game. And it turned out that it was opening day when the schedule was released. Like, come on out. And so he actually was going to try and come. And then he couldn't make it because they have an event going on. They needed coverage. And so he was just not happy. I was like, it's no big deal. No worries. There'll always be another time. And then he emailed and said, what if I come out, a couple weeks before and I have some ideas, we can shoot a video and we can I was like, you serious? You're going to come out just to hang out and do some stuff? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, shit, let's do it. So he'll be coming out next weekend, and that's how, when we talked to Mark and Arch, like, well, let's do something where we can have Patreon sample our single barrels before the release, give them just a little taste of what we're doing and get them excited. And so again, all these things were kind of organic, but that's what I'm saying. As much as I get enamored too with the stories that, like Jonathan was telling about, the wild turkeys and the willets and the beams and the jacks and stuff like that, and it's fun. There's something special about some of the smaller distilleries who are just grassroots marketing and making amazing stuff and willing to do things like that. Let's be honest with the channel. We're not the size of some of these other gigantic channels, and still being willing to do that. It's really cool. It's an honor, and it makes what we're doing so worth it. I mean, it's awesome. Like we're actually beyond grateful and kind of honored that these things are happening. But the good thing is it does eventually get passed on to you guys, and that's what if we're going to ask you to support us, we want to be able to give you something cool back. So we're continually trying to do some stuff that's outside the box, and it's fun that you guys will enjoy, but with good product to back it up. So
agreed.
Now I can get off my soapbox. But,
no, I think that's exactly correct, and that's how we're going to do things. So real quick, I do want to go to the poll I have up, which is interesting.
You do that when you get happy.
Well, 52. Well, hold on. Something just happened. 52 votes. What just happened here? Okay, so 52 votes, guys. If you haven't voted, vote. Which upcoming 21090 single barrel picks? So these are all coming this year. Are you most excited for? So we have, of course, in order, really, the Corbin Cash 9.5 year Merced Rye, the Old Line 8+ year American Single Malt, the Corbin Cash 8-year Hazmat Bourbon, or all of our sort of MGP Lux Row picks that we did with Shared Pour and all the other creators that were out there back in July. That'll be coming this November, December. So 53 votes are now in, Andy. It is a runaway with Corbin Cash. So not unsurprisingly, in last place is all of our MGP Luck Row picks at 6%. So that's fine. I get why that is. We don't really know a lot about them yet, right? You don't really know what we picked. So we know there was a lot. It was from Lux Row, it was MGP. But until we really get into sort of telling you about them and tasting them, I understand why you wouldn't pick that. However, there are some really amazing and exclusive barrels in that lot that you're going to be very excited for. Coming in third place with 11% through 54 votes is the 8-year single malt from Old Line. All right, that's good. That means 1 in 10 of those 54 votes are saying, you know what, I want that American single malt, and God love you, I'm right there with you. In second place is the Corbin Cash 9.5 year Merced Rye at 31%. That's next, guys. That's coming next. That's Ryan Affection. And then over half, 52%, are most excited for the Corbin Cash 8-year Hazmat Bourbon, Andy.
I am actually looking at the results there, and I'm kind of taking Lux Row and MGP off the table because there's so much there to choose from. It's really impossible for people to even wrap their heads around. So I'm glad that we even got a handful of votes for that. But if I'm being honest, that percentage plays exactly like I figured it would. And like the market does too. As much as we've discussed this, Todd, we are huge rye fans. Huge rye fans. We're huge American single malt fans.
Yeah.
And of course we love bourbon. But the majority of whiskey drinkers still gravitate towards bourbon. So I knew the Hazmat was going to probably run away with it. But the good thing is, what would surprise you guys is you're going to be blown away by the other two. And I'm just going to throw it out there right now. When you guys get a chance to taste that 9.5+ year rye, because it's just, and when you guys get a chance to taste this 8-year American single malt, alligator char, and just, my God, it's glorious. It's beautiful. You guys are going to be blown away. What I like about seeing those lower percentages still is that that's our job, right? We're trying to introduce people who may be scared to dip their toes into ryes or American single malts or whatever, even hazmats for that matter, and say, hopefully we've won your trust with our palates that when we say it's worth it, give it a shot. Give it a shot. I would be very surprised if it didn't. And even like the rye, I'll say this about the rye. The reason that Jonathan Malzano does toasted rye is because he and his wife are not straight up rye fans, because they're bourbon lovers.
I won't hold that against them.
So exactly. But I was like, all right, cool, man. And so he's like, but I want to try now this high-end rye. So he's gonna grab a bottle of high-end rye. And I said, trust me, this American single malt, this malt through the night is going to change your mind too. And that's what happens. Like sometimes when the right bottle comes along, you and I were not American single malt. We didn't know much about it.
Yep.
And when I brought that bottle of the Westward Malt Chocula over that Bourbon Barrel Nation did from Western Maryland, you and I and your brother-in-law killed that thing at your Oktoberfest in a matter of minutes. It was so good.
drank beer, and then you brought that, and
it was so good. It was just so good. And there was a lot of people saying, "Hey, like I'm buying all of them regardless." That's great. We appreciate that. We really do.
Listen, we need and Brian, real quick, back to Brian's super chat. That's who I listen. I hope no matter who we need to get you some K. Luke, because I think if you're a whiskey fan, you'll love what they're doing. I wonder though, and people can comment freely here. Does the price of K. Luke preclude you from buying the batches? Like they have 4 a year. They're $109. I get it. That's pricey. I get it. You don't know what the age is on it. I can tell you though, we don't know the exact age, but I had Jonathan, this batch 9, I knew had to have higher age statements in it because of the yield that they had, right? It was a 10-barrel blend, and it showed how many bottles there were, and there were significantly less bottles in the yield on this batch 9. And I said, John, you had to have higher age statements in this, right? And he said, yeah, there is. There is. That's why you're seeing a lower yield. So I love the fact that, he does that. And again, I get it. Price is an issue, and especially these times. And I've cut back on some things, but I won't cut back on K. Luke. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because I'm tied to, I like what Jonathan is, and we have a personal relationship, and I trust what he does. But I'm wondering if people out there don't buy K. Luke because the price, or is it they just can't get to it?
Well, let's put it this way. People are buying K. Luke because it could scare some people off, and I will never ever judge anyone for price being an issue with anything.
Thank you, Joe. You rock, brother.
What I will tell you is that factors go into making me want to spend a little more. If it's 3 bills, there's certain factors that I have to be completely vested in a handful of things for me to want to do that at this point, Mike. Because I'm past the FOMO stage if I've got to have it. I've passed the hunt the unicorns nonsense to overpay for something. Those days have long since gone for me. At this point where I am with whiskey, all I want to do is buy single barrels from other people whose palates I trust and jive with.
Agreed.
And I want to buy products from people who I A, like the person, B, like the product, and have had success with everything they put out. Jonathan falls squarely into that second category with K. Luke, because he is a savant with his palate. It's amazing like how good he is and what he can do. It's really good. And a lot of that comes from some of the best in the business have wine backgrounds, because it teaches you so much about aromatics and layering and like viscosity and all these things, what they play into it. Look, he got his early sommelier certification, been in the industry for a long time. Yeah. He trained under some of the best in the whiskey business. And above all that, one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet too. That makes me say I will spend a little extra money. I would rather do that than go into a store and see a bottle behind the glass with some owner who doesn't know shit about whiskey telling me that they're going to pay me 3 times as much for a Russell's 13. You know what? Screw it. I don't want it. And I've kind of changed my whiskey buying pattern. And that's hopefully something that this conversation will lead to you guys starting to do the same thing too, that, you know what, you don't have to go out and overpay for stuff anymore. If you're going to pay for a good bottle, but pay at the right price. I also say, I think what he's charging is fair. And let me one last soapbox for him.
No, you're on it.
He told me a story when he owned a liquor store, Maizano's in Mississippi, when he ran that for a long time.
Yeah.
He never upsold anything. So if he got a Willet 17 year, it was an MSRP. If he got a Stag Junior, if he got a Pappy, whatever it was, he sold it and he also would ensure that if he knew that someone, it only took one time, that flipped bottles, he would refuse sale to them. So he was really good at making sure some of the things that were absolutely killing the industry and have hurt bourbon dry, he wasn't allowing to happen. So that kind of integrity also, those are the things, let me say, you know what? I would rather spend $1.50 for a good bottle of bourbon. And he did put it this way too. He said, you can spend $60 on a great bottle of wine, like a really, really good bottle of wine, but you drink it in a day or two, because you can't sit out once it's open.
Right?
You can buy a $150 bottle of K-Luke, and that thing can last you for a decade and a half if you wanted to. So
there's no bottle that's 150 besides maybe the Keenan Reserve, but all the other ones are 109.
Anyway,
Anyway,
you know what I'm saying.
real quick, Anthony Peters, that's interesting. Yeah, it is blended MGP. I mean, they're using, I don't know how much MGP they're using, but they're using more Kentucky and Tennessee. I can tell you that right now. They have a ton of Kentucky that they're using. And again, we're not privy to what he's blending in there, but it's Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana in a lot of these barrel.
And again, like I said, that's totally fair.
And even in the rise, it's now not just Indiana; it's Kentucky and Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
We know that from batch 3 of the toasted rye. So
correct.
Let me get my rankings here. And you know what, Anthony? Maybe I'll bring some on Saturday so you can taste some of these K-Lukes, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with how they taste.
Guys, come out Saturday. You get to meet David. You get to meet Mark, but you get to meet Todd. Look at that. I mean, I think it's tougher to meet Todd than it is to meet Jonathan, than it is to meet David, than it is to meet Mark and Arch. I mean, you get to meet Todd.
I mean, I will be there, and I can't wait to pour samples of all of our and talk to everybody. Anthony, Dusty Dan's going to be there. He just registered, guys. That's the link to register.
All right, Dan.
Kathy and Joe Graves will be there. It's going to be great. We've got a bunch of people. It's up to 12 to 13. Let's get a few more. Bring friends. Yes, you're Patreon members, but bring your friends. Let them sample. Maybe they'll want to join the family as well. And let's have a good time on. And listen,
Amy, are you keeping track of this for us tonight? I'm getting old school flashbacks. God,
she was.
I miss Amy.
You get a Toddford. That's right, Anthony. You get a Toddford. That's great. All right. So, Andy, let me get to my rankings here because I'm interested to see. I already know that you said that's 8, and I saw the thing on this at 7. It is what it is. Let's rank these. So I'll go from but I like them all. There's just differences. And did you ask him? We're going to have Jonathan back on, I think, sometime.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. Does he go for more consistency in his blends or uniqueness? I think it's more uniqueness because these all are very different. There are some similarities, but for the most part,
he doesn't have matches. He doesn't have a specific profile where I'm building this to taste like this.
Yeah.
What he does is he tastes through barrels, takes these notes, and then based upon the notes that he takes, it literally is like Master Chef where they throw like all these ingredients out and say, make a dish. And one guy comes up with some sort of crazy curry dish. The other guy does, macaroni and cheese. Like whatever his palate is telling him, he will take these barrels, these notes, and he's like, this would work well with this. That's why I was so impressed. His approach to it is literally just, it's like a Tetris board. He makes it all fit. And I really thought that was cool. So he doesn't have a preconceived notion of what this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
He just knows that I'm going to take these ingredients and going to make it sing. And he does a great job at it. So it's really kind of interesting because I don't think a lot of people take that approach. And I think that's what's pretty neat about what he does. And he has studied under, he respects Nancy and her tutelage and stuff like that, knowing that Nancy's the best in the business. And so, a lot of, if you like what Nancy does, you're going to love some of what K-Luke is doing too.
I totally agree. A couple of things. Tom Harper, that's a great point. You have to multiply wine prices by roughly 5 to be equivalent to a whiskey. The ABV is 5 times as strong, give or take. So you get 5 times as the number of drinks from the bottle. That's a very good point. And I know you love your wine, but that is true. Real quick, Andy, Jerry Black, he's back in the fold. Jerry Black is a Patreon member. Let's all say welcome to the family. Again, Jerry Black, dude, coming in at a very high level, too, to get those Corbin cash. So, Jerry, thank you, brother, for becoming part of the Patreon family.
Welcome back to the family.
Yes.
Welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the edge of your seat. Let's go. Let's go. Do you really want to do this?
That's awesome. Thank you. We appreciate that.
All access. I love that. All access member. I love that. So
that's wonderful. And by the way, JG said the problem with Todd really is his name. And then he says, what does roll the footage mean? Oh, I get it.
And I'm getting really sick of guys named Todd. You know, yeah, it's just a goofy, it's a goofy name, okay? Hi, what's your name? Todd. I'm Todd. And this is Blake and Blair and Blaine and Brent. Where are all these goofy boys' names coming from? You want to hear a real name? Eddie. Eddie is a real name. Whatever happened to Eddie? He was here a minute ago. Joey and Jackie and Johnny and Phil, Bobby and Tommy and Danny and Bill. What happened? Todd and Tucker. Hi, Tucker. I'm Todd. Hi, Todd. I'm Tucker. Soft names make soft people. I'll bet you anything that 10 times out of 10, Nicky, Vinny, and Tony will beat the shit out of Todd, Kyle, and Tucker. Here are some more men who ought to be strapped to a gurney and castrated with fishing knives. White guys who shave their heads completely bald. You know? They're so ashamed they lost 11 hairs, they're going to try to turn it into some kind of a masculine statement. I say, hey, you goofy-looking, baldy-headed looks good on black guys. On you, it's ugly, repulsive, and disgusting. You want to be bald? Do what I did. Wait a while. Yeah. Meantime, there's no excuse for running around looking like a freshly circumcised dick.
First, in my defense, I lost more than 11 hairs. I lost way more than 11 hairs.
Dude, I will never forget watching that clip for the first time. And I'm like, no, you've got to be kidding me. And as he kept going and then just went into the second part, I was like, it's still relevant. It's like he took your picture and said, I need to do a bit on this guy from 21090. And I swear to God, I have never rushed to my computer so fast to put a clip together in my entire life that when I saw this, Todd, hi, Todd, I'm Tucker. Hi, Tucker, I'm Todd. Oh, my God, it was the best. It was the best.
Well, Jerry Black, thanks for being back in the family. We're really excited to have you. Can I get to my release? I can evaluate these 5K.
Oh, I'm sorry, little fella. Go ahead. That was a request. I didn't do it. It was a request.
Everybody likes seeing that. So my number 5 ranked, I like them all, but this was a bit more citrus forward, so to speak, which I don't mind necessarily, but compared to all these other things, which were more decadent in flavor, it was this, and that is, I might be wrong there. Batch 5. Batch 5 came in last for me of the 5, so that's okay. Then it was C. So that it was these were on the nose as well. My least favorite, and I think I saw this one. Yeah, it's 7. So I saw that through the thing. That's 7. So that was 7. Came in 4th. Toffee, honey, brown sugar. I liked it. Spiceman palate. Again, wasn't as deep and rich and viscous as the other ones, but very good. Coming in 3rd place is 5, 4, 3 is you dummy. Why did you say 8? That was 8. So that's batch 8 came in 3rd for me. Vanilla custard, brown sugar. Again, big time spice on the finish there. I really love that. So batch 8, real nice. Then it was E. E was, I got like some peanut brittle on this one, which was interesting. It was very different from all the rest. And even some strawberry, which I didn't get. Strawberry like chocolate. That is, batch 6. I don't even know.
Peanut brittle is an interesting combination.
I just got, it was like strawberry chocolate with peanut brittle palate. So that was batch 6 was my second favorite. And that means then this has to be, batch 9. Batch 9, number 1. Creme brulee, vanilla, custard, cherry, chocolate. This batch 9 from K-Luke to me is something special. And I'm glad that held up. Woo! That is, there it is. So I have batch 9 first, batch 6 second, batch 8 third.
Batch 9 is amazing.
Amazing.
It's pretty glorious. Yeah, we were sipping on. That was one of the ones we were sipping on. But
there you go. All right, so that's that's great. I will get I will get the wheel. Last call for alcohol. Any $5 super chat will get you entered into 2 ounces of all 5 of these batches. So batch 5, batch 6, batch 7, batch 8, and batch 9. I will blind them for you so that you can pour a little out and do your own blind.
Yeah, how did the Keenan hold up, Todd?
What?
Did you put the Keenan in there? You said, or yes?
You would know that in a second. You would know that right away. What
Yeah,
it is.
I didn't know if you put it in there or not. Okay.
I did not put that in, but I'm giving 2 ounces of the Keenan Reserve as well.
By the way, Jay, I know you've mentioned that a couple times, like the steam is affecting Andy's camera. It is so musty and freaking hot down south. It's insane. Like it's nuts. And I swear to God, I think the hotel rooms are as bad as the outside sometimes. It's just,
oh no,
I can't wait to get home. Although I'm going to probably get held up here tomorrow.
2 ounces of the case.
2 ounces, not 1. 2 ounces, Todd. That's nice that you gave 2 ounces of that. That was nice.
Yeah, Keenan Reserve was not in this. You would know the Keenan Reserve right away. I mean, first of all, just look at it. And then second of all, it's like wine overload on that. I mean, if you don't like wine, that's not going to be your jam, but it is jammy goodness, and it's beautiful.
My jam.
Yeah, I know you love it.
We're going to be doing that. We're going to do that wine night soon, guys.
All right, so I will start loading the wheel. Again, we have the great event with David Souza, Mark and Arch from Old Line, where you'll be sampling our next 3 single barrel picks this Saturday. Guys, I will certainly take some footage. I'm wondering if I should just get my phone out and do a quick live stream to patrons. What do you think, Andy?
I can't. That'd be a first for you. I can't see you doing something like that.
Guys, do you want to see that? Should I Saturday with David Souza, with Joe Grays, with Dusty Dan, with Anthony Peters, and all the other awesome Patreon members that are coming? If
you want to see that, comment in the chat. I'm getting really sick of guys named Todd, but you have to write the whole thing out. So
yeah, that is like Motor Oil. So yeah, there you go. It is like Motor Oil, and I love it. Live it. All right, I'm going to definitely go live for sure. Yeah, I cannot go live. Why not? Why not? Why not? All right, let me start. I think, did she say it's not a huge wheel, so this shouldn't take long. I think I have to go, if I remember this correctly, Andy.
You're doing a great job, little fella.
Let me go into the old Excel spreadsheet. She said we had butchered it. I don't know what we did to it. We probably did butcher it, to tell you the truth. It's been a while since we've used it, I think, because we kind of just forgot about it because we didn't know what we were doing. I think we messed it up at one point.
And, in honor of my brother still watching, we showed the clip earlier of the Seattle grunge. Let's show the other clip he was in.
Hey, Tom, what you think?
I love corn. So good.
That's perfect.
How orange is corn?
We need no other takes. That's absolutely. That's a big bite.
Joe Gray brings balance. I'm really sick of chicks named Andy.
What?
I don't even know what that means, but that's Thanks, Joe.
All right, there we go. All right, so
what you got up there, buddy?
I've got it already. So good odds here, guys. So let's shuffle this a couple. Let me bring it up. Hold on, I gotta bring it up. That might help. Give me uno momento, por favor. Present, share screen.
Timothy, present.
All right, guys. So this is for the Galoots batch 5 through 9, the Keenan Reserve, and maybe with the most unique of them all, the Case 1 rum single barrel from Old Line,
AKA the light whiskey replacement. You will no longer need to buy expensive light whiskey. You get a bottle of this, save yourself a ton of money, from your friends.
And it's delicious. Let's shuffle. Can you see it, Andy?
I'll add it to the stage there, little fella. There it is.
All right, guys. So good luck, guys. Thanks for all your support. Next week we'll be back with a pretty. Andy, are you here this next week, or you might be going again next week?
I may be going again next week. We'll see what happens. We'll
awesome. All right, let's spin the wheel and see who wins, guys.
Roll that beautiful bean footage, Todd. Winner is
Joe
Parrish. Right. Congratulations.
Joe Parrish wins. Was he one of the ones that said he's never had K-Loop?
I believe so. That's. I'm so happy that you get to try it. You're gonna love it, dude. It's awesome.
Great. So there you have it. Joel, you win. Congratulations. I don't know if you're still watching, but I'll get in touch. I think he's a Patreon member, so we will get that out to him. And real quick, last of the voting, 57 votes in. Again, it's not changed much. We've got everyone's excited for that Hazmat or Merced Rye from Corbin Cash this weekend, or not this weekend, but next week.
Change your minds about those other two, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, it is good. Joe, hey, congratulations. We're glad you got it, man. He said, nope, never had it. Excited to try. That makes me happy that you won it.
Yes.
So that is great. You're going to love it. Guys, if you're in the area, like Todd said, come on out on the 17th. Again, another free event from 21090. You will get to try of the upcoming barrel picks before they're released, which is great. And you get a chance to meet the founder and owner of Corbin Cash, the founders,
and they're great.
Of Mark and Arch from Old Line. So you get to meet all three of those guys, and maybe we'll spin some more 80s tunes and stuff while they're too, Todd, huh?
Yeah, we will. For sure. Next week we'll preview it again. Maybe we'll get to some music next week. I love going back to music, and we haven't done music.
Had a good time, and it was cool. It was cool, like John from our Patreon talking about his time at the concert last night. If you guys have concert, post them on Patreon. It doesn't have to be from Lep Concert, from anything you're doing, going to. We are beer, bourbon, and rock and roll, so we love it. But it's hot, man. It's definitely beach weather. So.
Well, let's go. Everybody go over to Bourbon. He's live right now. We're on Thursday night. I think he's still live. God knows I think he's talking about Wild Turkey 101 and different labels. So go, guys. That's or 210 sent you. Go over there. Let's see Bourbon Whiskey Uncensored. Let's go over there.
Yeah, let's do that. And let's I don't know. Let's I'm just gonna pick an old clip that we haven't done in a while. Let's see what this one is to get us out of here. All right, yeah. This is an old one, a good one. See y'all next week.
Today, which is like 4 days away or 5 days away. So see ya.
Peace.
We're never getting through this.
Wasn't ready for that.
Get yourself in check here. What's wrong with you?
Fine. I also didn't have dinner.
Oh, you didn't have dinner?
There's nothing in my stomach.
Oh my God. We drank 8 whiskeys.
I know. I felt drunk after the first beer.
Oh my God. Jeez.
Is that center?
And barrel of beer. I don't even know at this point, Andy. We haven't gotten to that point. Come on, dude. Let's go. Finish this. This is important. Well, maybe it's not.
Do it still look high?
You do. You do. But let's go.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Where are we starting from?
Welcome back to 290.
Welcome back to 290.
Yes.
I'm Andy. You're Todd.
Yes. Okay. And just go into it. Let's review FAO2.
Let's just do it.
Don't worry about 01. Say
Don't
we
worry
love the
about it.
01. Say the different.
I'm not worried about 01.
You're so drunk.
That was so springtime.
Fuck. God, we're never gonna do this. We've reached our limit, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if this is a good idea at this point.
We got one more to do. Come on, sit.
Okay, hold on.
Come on.
I'm trying.
There's a lot of whiskey over here.
This is too much.
Come on.